she ended up taking her life.
Nice.
And then the next one I met, she ended up being a lesbian.
No, lesbian.
So I had two terrible relationships.
When you're thinking, it's just a thought, which is coming straight out of hell, and you're going to build illusions around the thought.
Take us
and
to
that's
church.
where you'll make the wrong decision.
The hardest part, Jesse, and I'm just being real with you, that sex out of wedlock, that sex before marriage.
He's kind of tripping.
And that's what's going to destroy you.
Ah, no. No, don't say that.
My current relationship, she loves watching. Her and I watch every morning. We do the silent prayer together. She's great in just about every way that, after listening to you, that it seems a woman should be. But I want to know, like, I've been taking it slow. I haven't moved her in. We've been together for almost 2 years now. I still haven't even really told her I loved her. But I just want to know, like, is God going to add that in? Like, am I going to know when that's right? Like, how will I know?
You will know when you stop wanting to know. It will be made clear to you. Oof. And I would suggest that you don't have sex with her. Don't put any titles on the relationship. Just let it happen naturally. And happening naturally will lead you in the right place. If you should marry her...
What would that look like, though, Jesse?
It would look clear. It would be clear. There would be no decisions to make. It would be made for you. You would just see the right thing to do, the thing to do. I don't even want to call it right or wrong because that'll confuse you. But you would see what to do and you would just do it. There would be no other choice.
I feel sorry for the caller because that's been me more times than I can count. There have been so many situations where I'm wondering, should I make a commitment out of her? Should I make things serious? Do I love her? Do I love her? She's great. She's fantastic. Like I love my life with her. She's sweet, right? This is ideal. This is the ideal girl, right? What is stopping me from going all in? And also, would I be wasting my time with this particular person because it's mainly fueled by lust? It's scary. It's scary, yeah. And I say, God, give me a sign. And usually the sign is they break up with me. Eventually. They got tired of waiting or something.
There would be no wondering about it. There would be no thinking about it. It will only be to do, because that would be all that you would see to do. There would be no choice.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Okay.
Perfect clarity.
Because I'm trying to do all the practical things right, just waking up, working out, going to work, paying the bills, coming home, doing the silent prayer.
Yeah, and in the meantime, do not, never not, not. Don't think about, oh, she's the one, or this is my wife, or she's so great. She's in. Do not get into the thinking. That's where you will go wrong. Life is about not thinking. When you're thinking, it's just a thought, which is coming straight out of hell, and you're going to build illusions around the thought.
Take us
to
church.
That's where you'll make the wrong decision.
Okay, well, then I've been making that mistake because, it's easy. She's a beautiful girl and she's a sweetheart, so it's easy to start thinking, oh, she's the one. Oh, this is my sweet baby.
Yeah.
Thoughts are the devil. Ever notice that? Jesse makes a great point. You get so caught up in the fantasy of somebody that you start to associate that fantasy with reality. And as soon as they disappoint you, as soon as they screw up, or rather don't meet your expectations, you're mad. You're pissed off for no reason. You're pissed off because something you wanted, something you deluded yourself into thinking that is possible doesn't become possible. Who is at fault here? I'll be damned if another woman tells me, why would you put these feelings in me? You know I love you. Why would you do this to me? You're not the victim here, okay? Because if I let you know how it is from the jump, and you go ahead and still jump to conclusions, hey, take it up with God. I'm great. I know. I'm sorry, but it's not happening. Slow your roll. I'm not ready.
And that's where the problem is. You're into the thinking, and the thinking about it is of your father, the devil. In God, there is no thinking. That's why you have to practice staying present rather than the future, which doesn't exist, is an illusion, or the past is an illusion.
Stay present,
and if you don't live in that illusion, you're going to live in reality. And in reality is where all answers are all the time, without strain or stress or wondering or this. But you're into the thinking about it. And that's where the problem is.
For sure.
So let those thoughts pass, and you got to keep working on yourself, keep hanging out, dating, whatever you're doing, and just let it, whatever will be, it'll happen naturally. Do not start thinking about how great she is and this is good. Yeah, I've been with the lesbian, I've been with this or that. This is better. If when you get into the thinking about it like that, it's not the best. It's going to be worse than what you've already had.
Yeah, don't get into comparisons.
Yeah, well, I guess I could see that. I mean, with the past two, I guess I could see that.
And so the girl you're with now, y'all haven't had any decent agreements or fights at all?
We've only had like 2 or 3, I'd say, but we've been seeing each other for like 2 years now, and we do spend a considerable amount of time together. But I work a lot, so like really the time we spend together is just really eating food together, and it's really not much time, I guess, that we spend together.
Nice.
Same.
She's here probably 4 days out of the week, but like I said, I mean, I work 50 hours, so I'm hardly home.
Is she
homeless?
willing to obey you?
Oh yeah, and I actually
that's a keeper. This is one time. Couple years out of high school, I'm telling my dad because I was stuck on titles, right? I didn't like titles. I just like things to remain the way they are and just flow, and whatever happens. I asked my dad, did you address mom as your girlfriend when you guys started dating and guys got together? I was like, no. We never had to do any of that. She belonged to me and I belonged to her. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. We knew what was going on. We knew what time it was, and we got married, and here you are. That was a bar. That was a rare bar from my father.
And if it doesn't happen, it won't happen, but you'll be fine, and she'll be fine. But if it does happen, it will happen. You'll be fine, and she'll be fine. And if you guys do get married, it won't be on trying to get love from her. She doesn't have love to give, but the love will come through you to her, which would be of God, and that would be amazing.
The hardest part, Jesse, and I'm just being real with you, that sex out of wedlock, that sex before marriage.
He's kind of tripping.
And that's what's going to destroy you.
No. No, don't say that.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Yeah, because you're not seeing the real her, and she's not seeing the real you.
That's
Both
true.
of you putting on an act, because the sex is just a drug. She's the sex dealer, and you're the sex addict. And you guys you're not
hurting
really
me.
seeing one another because all the fake emotions in the way.
He's so right.
So I would
how does sex? how does sex create those fake emotions? Like it's just
Because
because
It's
it's
it
such
lust.
a
You're being
feeds
fueled by
your
lust.
ego. It makes you feel you're being loved.
That too.
It makes you high like a drug. It gives a false illusion. It brings on false emotions. It causes you to think about it every day, and she's thinking about you every day. And then when you
But
get,
so how's that any different though than just like hugging or kissing or just doing nice things for one another?
you shouldn't be doing a lot of hugging and kissing either, because that brings on the same emotions as well.
Yeah, hug and kiss.
Okay.
And
That
when
cuddle.
those emotions are there, you're not going to be honest with one another, because now you feel good, and what you want is more of the drug so you can continue to feel good. And then you tell yourself, oh, we're going to cut out sex for a while. And then you'll have more sex than ever
I'm not posting
because
this video.
you're now addicted to the drug, which
I
is
like it.
sex. Sex is not supposed, there is niceness in sex, but at the right time, in the right way. But sex is primarily for making babies. It's not supposed to be serving your ego.
Mm.
So I would recommend do what you want, but you gotta cut out the sex thing.
Guys, you gotta cut out the sex.
You gotta
if you want clarity.
Like I said, I'm with you, man. I've listened for like 8 years now. I've heard you say this before. I completely, and I'm not doubting you. I completely agree. That's why I started doing the silent prayer, and you know, it's brought wonders to my life because I've eliminated all the vices in my life. You know, the worst thing I do nowadays is drink a seltzer water and play some pool down at the pool hall
and have sex.
But
it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird today because women, if you stop initiating all that, if you stop initiating sex, they get offended, right? They're just like, oh my god, is there something wrong with me? Why are you no longer attracted to me? Who's the bitch? Huh? Who are you busting, getting your tension off of? Who is she? Girls be tripping. Yeah, they be tripping. However, clarity, right? This is the answer what every man needs answered. Is she the one? Right? And it's tough because you don't want to waste time. You don't want to have to sign no divorce papers. You don't want to get caught up with the wrong one, with a little wolf in sheep's clothing. I get that. So hey man, this may be a course of action you may need to take. All right, it may be challenging. That's another thing. I don't think the caller asked this, but he doesn't say, what if she initiates it? What am I to do? Brush her off? Push her off?
Well, I highly recommend. Here's what I recommend. For 1 year, no sex.
Yo,
no, like even when you kissing, don't get all into the kissing thing.
Oh man,
you know what I mean? Just a little pet, just a little pet, and be on your way.
A little peck and be on your way.
Oh man,
he's tripping.
My producer made a very interesting point. He said that marriage has to work in a practical way, not an emotional way. And the problem is, people get married based on emotions, and then when they get married, all hell breaks loose because now they want more emotions and from each other, and it's just never enough of that. It drives you nuts.
Well, that was my first two relationships in a nutshell, Jesse.
Yeah.
Fighting, screaming, sexing, just repeat.
And that's what's going to happen with this one if you continue down this road.